Hi guys, it's Miko, and if you're watching this, it's been a little while since I made a video. Um, Last week wasn't the greatest, and I just wanted to bring you some new content that hopefully is a little more uplifting. So I'm gonna get into it, and this is a little story time thing. It's actually about when I got hit by a car. So we're gonna get into that because that was a nutty time, to say the least. So this was like probably three or 3.5 years ago. Um, at the time, I was like super into fitness, and I was working out in the gym like pretty much every single day of the week, and I was only eating like salmon and like vegetables and stuff. That was like my diet, and drinking lots of water. I'd like cut everything out of my diet. And I was doing this because my intentions were to get in shape so that way I could do the fitness test for the police academy, or try to get into the police academy. And I was like really determined that that was going to be the career path that I was going to go into. And um, some events happened later on after the accident and stuff that led to like some serious depression for me, that ultimately made me decide not to pursue it. And I got really sad, so I just was like, it's not in the cards for me. Um, and so I get 2 miles in, like every day if I could, and then I would still work out like later that night. Like I was a freak, like always working out, and like I was pretty like built. Like I was a musclehead. Like I had like no neck really. Like this was just triangular. It's really gross now that I think about it, but at the time, like I was feeling a lot more masculine, and I was just like getting all this muscle, and I was like, man, like I feel really good about my body, and I lost a lot of weight. Like I started at like 225, and then I got down to like 180. So over time, my cat is nuts. What are you doing? I'm trying to make a video. Okay. Anyways, at the time I was just like really determined, and I dropped so much weight. So it was a really nice thing, and it like boosted my libido and everything. So it was all good for me. So one of these days I decide that I'm gonna go just for like a walk, do like a 2 mile walk. Nothing that was gonna like drain me before work, and then I would have to go sit around at my job and be tired the entire time. So the girlfriend that I had at the time, who is a total shithead by the way, was walking with me, and she was on my right side, and we lived out in this area that was kind of like a busy street. Like there's just cars constantly going by. Um, so that like area was just potentially dangerous, for like even pulling out of our apartment area or whatever. Just like people just fly down that road. So her and I are walking, and we're just talking about stuff. We go to like a crosswalk, and there's clearly a stop sign, like like blatantly in front of like any vehicle that was going to like turn or whatever, or come out into this busy street, right? And so I start walking forward, and I shit you not, I just start moving, and I'm just like I don't know what's going on, and I like look over, and I'm being hit by a guy in a Jeep, and I just like out of nowhere like have this like super like adrenaline boost of like testosterone, and so my initial reaction is to like push it back and just keep pushing on it, and this guy like won't let up on the gas. Like I felt like he was trying to kill me, or he was just like too dazed or something to like not realize what he was doing. Well, I got hit so hard that I knocked over my girlfriend, and like she fell over, and we both dropped our cell phones out into this like busy street. And my first thought is not even to like do anything with the driver. I literally, like, my depression subconsciously was just like, go get your phone. So I walked out into the busy street, and I just grabbed our phones, and like people were just like honking at me and like stopped, and just like I could have died there too. Like I could have got hit like even harder by the car. And this guy was like at least doing like, I don't know, maybe 15 miles per hour, but he hit us like pretty like hard, at least for me to like kind of shoulder check my girlfriend onto the ground, because like she was working out too, so she wasn't really like fragile at the time. So then I get really pissed off, and I like start cussing this guy out because I'm like, dude, like what the f, like why would you just blow through a stop sign and keep going? Like, I'm 6 foot tall, like almost 6'1". How did you not see me while you're driving in your little Jeep? Like, I was just baffled. And this other car turning off of that street saw what happened, and they just start cussing this guy out too. And they're like, dude, like, this is like messed up. And they're like asking me if I'm okay, and like they just like go off on this guy, and this guy gets out like nonchalant and is just like, I'm sorry that I hit you. And he's this like old like bald dude. He or like balding dude. He looks like that guy who was in Toy Story 2, who had the giant like toy store. Like that, you know who I'm talking about. Like the guy who like fell asleep on the couch with Cheetos. He looked like that guy. I think his name was like Bob or something. Like he looked like a Bob. He's like wearing this old Metallica like Ride the Lightning shirt, and his eyes are like red as hell. Like he definitely had been smoking some reefer and just like did not care about what he did while he was driving. Like this guy did not brake at all until I literally like started pounding on his like hood, and I'm just like, dude, like get out of the car now. Well, this is like the first time that I've ever had like something like that happen, and I didn't know what to do. And I'm kind of like I don't know what's going on in my head. So I decided that I'm just gonna get his information and give him my information for insurance purposes. And then like he just drives off. And then I realized like, oh, like I should have called the cops. So I call the cops afterwards and tell them like he left the scene and like here's his information and stuff. And there's like these two cops in my apartment, and I had been like limping, and because I got hit on this side, which ironically is the knee that's currently injured, and that's kind of why I wanted to bring up this story. So I got hit on this side like pretty hard, and like my shoulder and like my arm and stuff, and the cops basically tell me like there's nothing we can do because you didn't call like during the scene. So I'm like, okay. So I end up like filing insurance stuff, like a claim, and I got like $1,000 out of it, which isn't really that much for like me getting hit by a car while I'm walking. And I was like definitely like in the right. Like we were crossing, like we stopped at the like crosswalk. We looked both ways, and then we started moving forward, and then get hit in the middle of the crosswalk. So there wasn't us like jaywalking or anything. Like we were doing what we were supposed to do, and I end up having to go to the hospital, and I have to get X-rays done on me, because like I'm limping, and like my friend at the time was living with me, so he had picked us up after we got hit, and she's limping too, my girlfriend, and they do X-rays on her, and it turns out she like fractured her ankle like really bad, simply because I hit her like super hard when I got hit. So she just took damage from me, and they do X-rays on me, and like they're like, nothing's wrong with you. And so I'm just like, that is so weird, because I got hit really hard, and I just like got bruising all over myself. But it was just a bizarre little scenario that happened. And I thought I would share it with you guys because it's another one of my weird, wacky stories. So if you enjoyed this story, of course, hit the like button, subscribe, and leave a comment down below if you've had any like crazy experiences like that, whether it's car accidents or anything similar. I'd love to hear it because they're definitely bizarre stories, and I don't know. I can't ever forget that moment, especially since I started pushing the car back, thinking I'm like Superman or something. So as always, bye, Peaches.